Flosstube, this is Mel of Hope Stitches, and welcome to my channel. Today is Monday, June 2nd, 2025, and this is Flosstube number 24. It's been about a month since my last Flosstube, and I appreciate your support. If this is the first time you're checking out my channel, welcome. If you are a returning viewer, thanks for coming back. It has been a bit of a crazy month. If any of you out there are educators, you know that May, they like to call it Maycember now because there's so much going on and it just gets crazy. I feel like I'm finally catching my breath. And while I've been enjoying a little bit of stitching at night, I haven't been able to stitch a lot. But like I said, I'm starting to catch my breath. So this weekend, I did take some time and I fully finished FFO'd many of, well, 5 different finishes. So that was exciting. Actually 4, because one I had finished about a week ago. But I did that. So I've got some finishes to share with you today. I have some whips and a little bit of haul and some pseudo plants. So without further ado, let me get on to the cross stitching. So my first 3 fully finished objects I'm going to share are all from one designer, and that is Barbie the Petal Pusher. And if you have not checked out her designs, you have to, because they're sweet and darling and they're just a lot of fun. So the first one I have is tomatoes, and I had picked up tomatoes at StitchCon, and I finished it onto this cute little, I guess they call these tobacco stands or tobacco baskets. And so you can see my tomatoes there. Very simple finish. I just laced up the back and then put it on. This is all done in the, not in the called for DMCs. It is a full conversion. So as I said, I picked this up at StitchCon. And for any of you that have gone to StitchCon before, know they have an annex right near where you're stitching. So when I purchased this, I did not want to have to go back to keepsakes, and I did not want to have to go someplace else to get DMC. So I decided to do a full conversion with Forbidden Fiber Co. flosses, except for one. So this red that is over here, the really dark one, that's also used up in these cherry tomatoes over here, is from Rami Creations. So I was going through all the Forbidden Fiber Co. colors and matching them, and I picked a purple instead of what's more of a brown, and really enjoying that. And I was missing one red. So I started walking around, and Rami Creations had this tiny, tiny area, and then this little bowl, you guys, it was like this big, and it just had a few flosses in it, and it had the perfect red. So I was like, way to go. So that is also done on a 16 count Aida from Fiber on a Whim in Cafe Latte. And what I like about that color is it has a little bit of like green grunge in it. And it's just, if the light hits right, you can see that. So that's exciting. My second fully finished object is also from Barbie, and it is from her pattern Little Rascals. And I don't have the pattern with me today because I am letting a friend borrow it, but this is a sweet pillow that I was able to make from Little Rascals. It is done on a 16 count Aida in the color of Sky from Atomic Ranch. It has all the called for DMC colors. It has cute little tractors from some Lori Holt fabric. I think it was a Bee in My Bonnet fabric design she had a while ago. And then the chenille is Lady Dot Create. So this was a fun little one to stitch up, and it stitched up super, super quick. Had a friend over yesterday to do some finishing on pillows, so I finished that one with her. And I was getting out my Baggo Bits from Lady Dot Creates. I have a few of them, and I found this purple, and I'm like, oh my gosh, it's perfect because it matches this little carrot there. So that was super fun. If you are not familiar with Lady Dot's Baggo Bits, she puts them on sale every once in a while, and they're about $7 a bag, and you get a stuffed bag full of bits. And it's a great way to get an eclectic collection of finishing tools without having to break the bank. So I like that. My next one is another Barbie the Petal Pusher, and it also comes from this little series she's doing. So this is part of a series, And this one stitched up so quick with these little carrots. I was like, cool. I've always wanted to do Troublemakers, which is the one with the pumpkins. So I stitched it. But let me tell you, these pumpkins, same exact size, does not stitch up quite as fast. These pumpkins need a little bit of business. So this is my pumpkin one. And we'll put it up a little closer for you to kind of see all of it. This is finished on a wooden pumpkin that I picked up at Target after Halloween. I picked up a few of them and they were super inexpensive. And what I did here, this is Lori Holt fabric that I decoupaged onto the pumpkin. And then this is another piece of Lori Holt fabric that is just a square. And then this square also has this Lady Dots pom-pom on it. So that is my finish. So that was a fun one. So I still have the strawberries to do. And then I think I want to pick up the one she has that's evergreens because it's super cute. And I think a lot of them will end up being little pillows. But my pumpkins, that one is actually a gift. And I need to stitch it again for myself. So that is on the same Cafe au lait fabric that Tomatoes was on. And I have another piece left for mine. But it's a little MIA right now. I think the Troublemakers put it somewhere and I can't find it to work on. So when I find it, I will work on it. But super excited to have those done. My fourth fully finish is a pattern that I finished last summer. And I knew how I wanted to finish it, and I actually purchased all the stuff, but then I just didn't have my mojo for finishing. I just wanted to stitch. Do you ever get into grooves like that where you either just want to finish or just want to stitch? I had everything ready. It was like layered together. So like I said, yesterday was my get your act together and get these things going. So Botanical Bee from Kathy from Hands On Design, super fun stitch that I did, and I did it on a 28 count linen in the color Madeline from Miss Crescent Colors, who I don't think she's dyeing fabric right now, but this is my finish. I love it. I purchased this at Hobby Lobby, and then I just did a round and stitched around it and gathered it in the back. And then I've got some Lady Dots Create, oh my gosh, what do you call this? Rickrack. And then this is Velveteen, which I love the way that makes these pinks up here pop. So I switched out blue fabric for this yellow. Most of the colors are the same except for the blues and the flowers. I decided to, since the flowers in this one were yellows, I switched them for blues because I figured we were doing kind of a switcheroni. Everything else I think is the called for colors. And I really like the way this one came out. I'm not sure if I'm going to get the ladybug or not yet. I love it. It's beautiful. I'm not sure if I'm going to stitch that one yet. So we'll see. You never know. I'll be at StitchCon in like 3 weeks and might be like, gotta have it. We'll see. All right. My fifth fully finish is a finish that you again saw a while ago. I actually rang the bell at StitchCon last year with this one. I had purchased it one year at StitchCon, and then I rang the bell last year with it. And it is the Lilie Violette Mary Poppins Practically Perfect in Every Way. And this one I stitched in all the called for threads, which are all DMCs. And after I had stitched it, let me give you a little story on this. After I had stitched it, I didn't know what I wanted to do for a finish. I was like, do I want to just put it in a frame? You know, what do I want to do? And it's a lot of black stitching, so it has a presence. So I put it out to some friends, and they were like, you should make a bag with it. And I'm like, okay, I could make a bag with it, but I don't want to make a purse. Like, you know, I'm not going to do that, so it would be a project bag. And I've made project bags before, but I always mess up the zippers. So I was nervous for that. So like I said, my friend was coming over yesterday to make pillows, and she said, get everything ready up to the point of the zipper. I'll help you with the zipper. I'm like, okay. So I had some fabric. That's Mary Poppins fabric that I actually found in my stash that I had bought, oh my gosh, you guys, probably like 6 or 7 years ago at Comic-Con. Because it's not even called Comic-Con in Arizona anymore, right? So it was a long time ago, and it was at this booth where the one had all kinds of fabric that was Disney fabric. I don't know if she printed it herself or did it on Spoonflower or what she did, but I got really cute Mary Poppins fabric. So I said, all right, I'm going to go for it. So I watched Elizabeth Ann Can Stitch a couple weeks ago, and she had talked about how she was going to do a tutorial for an easy bag finish. So I watched her tutorial, which didn't help me for the bag itself because the construction of her bag is different. It's using a fat quarter and you fold over, and I cannot wait to try it because I think it'll be a lot of fun. But she helped me immensely for zippers. I was actually able to do this bag all by myself before my friend even got here because she has such a good section on zippers. And then I watched a couple other things just to brush up. But this is the back side of my fabric, and here is my front of my bag. And I just love it. Look at her. Isn't she beautiful? So what I did was I just quilted all around here. Just, a crosshatch quilt. I used my Mary fabric both on the outside and the inside. And I just chose to use Warm and Natural and keep the bag kind of loose, because I thought about using like that Bosal finish that you can use on bags and make it really stiff. But that wasn't the look I was going for, and I wanted the cross stitch part to be able to give a little bit if it needed to. I know that sounds a little crazy, but I am stoked about this. It was so much hard work. I was so nervous to cut this out. I almost put some stuff on the side. I thought that would be too busy. But I think the pink pops. I think it's fun. It's a nice big bag. I can put Q-snaps in here or whatever I want. So I'm very excited about this bag. Very excited. So there she is one last time, just because she was a lot of work. A lot of work. This is stitched on 16 count fiber on a whim. I don't have the color. If you need it, I can find it. All the called for DMCs, and it's just a lot of fun. So I can't wait to use that. So those are all my full finishes, which is a lot. I cannot believe how many I got done. Whew, I don't think I've ever had that many in one Flosstube. So we're on a little journey. So next I'm going to share with you some stitching. So I have been working on a couple things. One was a start during Springo. I had started Flag of Stars from Bent Creek, and I'm doing this with a kit I have that's all pearl cotton. And I mentioned this last time that this is the first time I've ever stitched on pearl cotton, but I'm doing it. It's pretty good, pretty good. And it's on, gosh, I want to say it's a 20 count, let me see, 20 count linen. So it's a 20 count linen, and I'm doing really well. So last time you saw this, I think I had these 3 stripes done. So I've done the yellow, the red, I did this blue and the white star, and now I have a darker blue. Can you see that darker blue that I've got to put in all around? So this one doesn't have a ton left on it. It has enough, and this is going to go up in my new office, so I'm very excited. This is going to get put into a blue frame and go in my office. This is coming to StitchCon with me because it's a lot of fill, so I'm hoping to get that filled in and to ring the bell. So that is exciting. I know it's where it's destined for at this point. So that's exciting. That's going to come with me. So that had, the stitching time this had was some travel stitching in the car. We did a little 24-hour road trip, and so I had some good stitching time in the car, and that's where most of that was done. And then I thought, okay, that one is a good one to take when I travel to StitchCon. The next one, you have not seen it since I did not have a start on this. Oh, I can't speak. This is what happens when you do these things at night after a full day of work. So this is Farmers Market ABC, and it was at the market this spring. And 2 of my friends and I are all stitching this, and our goal is to get most of it stitched at home and then have like the last quarter of it or so to do at StitchCon, and we're going to ring the bell together. one of my lovely friends is already up to the point she needs to be. In fact, like 3 weeks ago, she was at that point. And I'm like, I haven't even started it yet. And she's already like gangbusters on it. So as soon as Springo was done, I was like, I have got to get started on this. This has to be my main jam because I need to be able to ring that bell at StitchCon. So I am doing this on the called for linen. It's a 32 count. Wait, let me look. 32 count country mocha linen is what I'm doing on. I just ordered it off 123 Stitch. All the call for colors. I am not taking it out of my nerd shoot, but I will show you what I have done. It's sorry, it is so very wrinkly, but it is absolutely gorgeous. And I'm working on tomatoes, and then I've got some more things. So I've got tea down. I've got what I'm finding with it, let me just show a section for a second. So you'll have like 3 letters and you'll have some things in that letter. And some of them are pretty easy, but some of them are pretty dense when you look at the stitching in them. Like this one was super dense, this little market basket, but it's so precious. So now I think I have a strawberry to stitch here, and then down here is going to be some tomatoes and vines. So I'm going to do a little bit more on this before I say, okay, it's ready to put aside for StitchCon. So I did take it out of my Patoki stand for you, but I did not take it out of my nerd shoot. So hopefully next time you see it, it'll be a finish from StitchCon. So that's what I'm actively working on right now. Another plan I have, and we'll see how I do with it, is Anytime Tiny Town. So I brought Anytown Tiny Town. Wow, that is a tongue twister. Anytown Tiny Town with me to StitchCon last year. And I purchased it from Keepsakes when they had the exclusive kit, like way back when. So it's a Shrek fabric, and it's, the fabric actually is, yeah, Needle Bling Shrekie's Tan on 16 count Aida. And I have all the colors looking so gnarly because I just am not taking care of them well. They just sometimes sitting in a bag can get so crushed. Anyway, my colors are here. They're mostly Classic Colorworks. So I started this at StitchCon. And I did a really great job on the tree. And I came over and I started this cute little ice cream place, I think it is. And I quickly, as you can see right here, made a boo-boo because this is supposed to be overstitched. So I started unstitching, but at StitchCon, I just put it away. I was like, nope, not dealing with this right now. Well, guess what, folks? It's almost a year later and I still haven't dealt with it. So I'm trying to unstitch what I need to unstitch there so I can get a little bit more on this so I have some mojo with it for StitchCon. So when I get to my point on this, then hopefully this is going to come out so that when I'm at StitchCon, I can work on it. I don't think I'll finish it, but what I'd really love to do is at least get this little Keepsakes house done when I'm there. So we'll see what happens. And I think I'm going to finish these as drums when they're done because Danny from Love and Stitches just did one as a drum and it's adorable. I've gotten several of the Tiny Towns now. I have this one. I have the, I think it's a B one. I have the Nativity, and I just picked up a 4th one, you guys. What is wrong with me? I just keep buying patterns. I guess it's just because it's fun, right? So those are, well, 2 of those are what I've worked on. The other one I really don't, I mean, I picked some stitches out. That's about it. So I've got some places to go with that. Lastly, I have some haul to share with you. So, Keepsakes, love Keepsakes. They had their newsletter come out, my friends, and every time they have a newsletter come out, they have another beautiful stitch. So I have a couple patterns by this person, but I have not stitched their patterns yet, and it's Robin Pickens. So she has the peekaboo birds. Aren't they just so cute? And Keepsakes came out with a kit that comes, so Susan did a change of colors for this, and she picked colors for the birds and everything. So I got this. It came with finishing things everything but this cute little mini clipboard that's white from, I want to say Chantel, 141 Designs. I'm not positive, but I'm pretty sure it's Chantel. So I'll probably order that. This is going to be a gift stitch, but it's not even started, but I got that. And then, and I just love the way they send things, because look at, they've got 310 there. I got to pet her last year. I felt very privileged. It was, I got in on the Wednesday. StitchCon starts on Thursday, and I usually take the red eye. And so I was over at Keepsakes, and 310 was out. She wasn't down in the basement. So I got to pet her a little bit, which was kind of fun. It was quiet in there the day before the storm hits, right? The storm of StitchCon. So I said we took a little turnaround trip. We took like a 24-hour jaunt to Vegas, and you can't go to Vegas without going to Paradise, Stitcher's Paradise. So my husband was kind enough to say, hey, is your stitching store open? And I said, hey, let me look. And it was. So we went there as we headed back out of town. And I picked up a couple things there. I picked up Patriotic Tiny Town because I had just seen Danny's, and I'm like, oh my gosh, this is precious. And I picked up the Classic Colorworks threads that I did not already own. Because I think I looked through and they were, like, I knew I had Weeks Dye Works Grit for whatever reason, but I picked out the colors that I didn't think I had at home. So I picked up that. I also picked up Prairie Schooler Santa Revisited. And I have decided that I am going to stitch the Santas for the years my kids were born. And so this is the first one I've gotten. I need to get 96 and 99, but I got 97. So that's exciting. I'm going to start with those and then we'll see. But this was the only one they had out. That was the right year. And I probably could have asked and they probably had it in back, but it was kind of one of those, like, I don't want to just buy the 8,000 shirts and here I want to be very purposeful of what I'm buying. So that's what I did there. And then I found two designers that were new to me, and I found some sweet stitches. So this one is Ladybug Stitches, Hannah Webster. And this one is called America. And it looks like it's going to be a sweet, quick stitch. It's all DMC. And it finishes at almost 4 inches by 5 inches, and when she did it on 14 count. So if I do it on something smaller, if I do it on a linen or an even weave that's at a tighter weave, it'll even be smaller than that. But I thought it was really, really cute. And it'll go with my theme in my office, so I think I'm gonna do that. And then this one, I just thought was another one. It's Small Town Needleworks, and it's called Winter Window. And isn't it precious? I love that it's the sill of the window that you're looking through. And she gives on the back of this, she or he, I shouldn't say she because I don't know that. But on the back, so they stitched it on a 14 count vintage country mocha, which finished 5 by 7. And it is 70 stitches by 98. But on the back, it's kind of cool. She gives you all the finishes, the finishing size for everything from a 10 count to a 36 count, which I thought was pretty darn cool because a lot of people don't do that. So I thought this one would be fun. I might change up the colors a little bit, but I just thought it was really precious, and it reminded me of my in-laws' window in their barn back in the day. So I don't know, that one had a little bit of sentiment to me as well. So that is my haul. So not too bad, you guys. Lots of fun things. If you've never checked out Small Town Needleworks or Ladybug Stitches, check them out. I have not even opened these up, so I couldn't even tell you what their charts look like. I just think that the pictures are pretty and it was something different. And when I'm gonna take the time and go to a store, I do try to find things that I can't find other places, that I can't easily get online, because I want to support those little stores. And some of them are bigger stores, but I want to also support those vendors I'm not aware of. So we're not vendors. I guess they kind of are vendors, but those designers. So that was a nice way to round out my stash a little bit. As far as plans go, right now it's getting ready for StitchCon. My small is done. My table gifts are ready. I kind of have an idea of what I'm going to bring with me. That could change. I have about 3 weeks for it to change, which often it does. I find that I typically take 4 projects with me, 2 that are kind of close to finishing, 1 that is just an in progress, and 1 that would be a new start. Because what also happens is I tend to find something else there that I want to start. So we'll see. I haven't quite decided on anything yet. Well, I've decided on the 2 that are, well, I shouldn't say that. I've decided on the 3 that I've shown you, but a 4th one hasn't really percolated up yet. So we'll have to see what happens with that. I might be back before StitchCon to just share maybe my packing of my supplies for StitchCon. If there's something in particular you'd like to see, please leave it in the comments. I would love, love, love you to share some comments with me. If there's anything that you need more information on that I shared today, please feel free to share that. I'd love if you share my channel with a friend, because I am trying to grow this channel. But if there's something in particular that you would like me to talk about on here or share with you, I would love to hear about that. I would love to get up to, I'm still a very small channel, guys. I would love to get up to 400 subscribers. So we can do a giveaway. So like, subscribe, enjoy. I hope that you have a wonderful month of June. I will be back before StitchCon. I think I'm going to do a packing tutorial, or not tutorial, but just like a packing, I don't know, how I pack for StitchCon or something. I don't know. I'll figure it out. So I'll be back. But I hope that you have a great few weeks. I hope that you find lots of time for stitching and just kindness to others. Our world needs it. Have a great one and happy stitching, friends.